Hi there, YouTube. I am the no-show consumer. I come here and consume YouTube content when people don't show up for their appointments with me at work, so that I'm not just sitting around doing something passive with my time. Today, I'm going to be starting the album My Heart Says Go by Jorge Rivera Harans of Epic fame. Um, all I know about this album is that it is based on his real life experience in studying medicine or medical science or something like that, and deciding that he hated it and wanted to go and write musicals instead. That is pretty much the context that I have. I have heard the first song, Prologue, so I'm going to be listening to that now. Um, and just yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. So should show up. Boom. No, let me try that again. Boom. There we go. Magic works. And let's see what Jorge has got in store for us here. This reminds me so much of um, My Chemical Romance is the Black Parade starting with the first song called "The End." It's just that monitor, um, very powerful, draws you right in.
My body's here, but my mind is out there. It's somewhere racing. I spent a lot of time trying to get to this time and place. Today is basically the biggest day of my life. I get to help in saving this guy. He suffers from some nearly fatal form of pericardial heart disease, and we're supposed to operate, but I can't concentrate. I only contemplate. Damn, is this what I want? Is this right?
This is, this is not the moment where you want your doctor in training to be questioning their career choices if you're the person on the table.
What the hell am I doing with my life?
There it is again.
I study cardiology, but I don't know the matters of the heart. Placed at a painstaking pace from the start, and now I'm in debt.
Wait, let me go back. Wait.
Placed at a painstaking pace from the start.
Placed out of place.
But I don't know the matters of the heart. Placed at a painstaking pace from the start.
Placed out of pace. Taking pace from the start.
But I don't know the matters of the heart. Placed at a painstaking pace from the start. And
I'm struggling with that second line.
pace from the start. And now I'm at a painstaking pace from the start.
Taking pace from the start. Placed out of pace, taking pace from the start. I think there's something I'm missing, but I mean, it just kind of says to me, out of beat, out of sync, not where he feels he should be, either going too fast or behind in some way. Either way, just, it not kind of following the path, or at least the pace of the path that he expected it to take.
And now I'm in doubt about the route I take. What does my heart say? In my heart, there's a melody, but I can't hear it clearly. It appears to
That's going to come back.
say, in my heart, there's a melody, but I can't hear it clearly. It appears to steal.
So he hears this melody. He doesn't have the skills yet, doesn't have the knowledge to be able to, you know, put it out onto paper or a recording or something like that, but he knows it's there. I'm certain we're going to hear that motif again.
Hear me when times are severe, like here. There's something truly daunting and haunting about wanting to be a doctor. Guarding someone's life in your hands, the life of another man, to be literally the last stand between this man and God's plan. His heartbeat fleets, and that's when the pressure kicks. My gut becomes sick. This moment, this tick makes me wish and fantasize myself in another life.
And so while he's there, it's almost like his sounds a little bit like kind of like time has slowed down. He is lost in his mind, kind of going through this crisis of identity, crisis of career. Um, Inopportune moment for it to occur. But probably, yeah, if there was going to be one big test to, I guess, give a person a sense of whether or not they are either cut out to be or want to be a doctor, surgeon, dealing with medical crises like that right in front of them, yeah, this would be the first time that they would know.
What if I chased the dreams that I wanted this whole time? My pop says this job is a long-term provider, and I like my job, but I wanted to be a songwriter.
Just kind of laughing at the idea of, well, what if in the middle of a surgical procedure, he just bends down to this guy and starts. He's like, you know what? I don't want to be a doctor. Let me introduce you to the melody in my head. And this guy's just bleeding out on the table because his doctor's decided he wants a change of career right in the middle of his procedure.
Music. I love music. I love the many effects.
Change. Wait, let me go back.
This job is a long-term provider, and I like my job, but I wanted to be a songwriter. Music. I love music.
It's interesting that comparison of the heart rate monitor as the driver of beat and rhythm, that beep, beep, and then this kind of deep thumb, like that thrumming kind of heartbeat. It's almost like the clinical external reading of the internal mechanism, um, for him being a doctor going into medicine is a almost seems like a superficial or a surface level read on who he is and who he can be. But when it gets down to like the internal, to what it is that's actually being read, what it is that's actually uh you know being the driving force behind everything that he thinks he should be doing, is taking him in another direction. And that feels more real. That has more warmth and it has more, uh, yeah, like an intimacy and connection to that rather than this clinical kind of beep, beep, beep as the driver of the rhythm.
I love the many effects it has, depending on how you choose to use it. It could be amusing, the therapeutic. It's oozing with treasures to be discovered. It's pleasure for me. I love it. Check this out. This is a regression line of every hit song since '79, and all day long this is on my mind. There's so much information, from tempo to key changes, chord progression, so many lessons. For example, did you know that if you take the key of a song up, everything gets more exciting, the song gets more enticing, feels like it's rising. And if you take it back down, I don't really know what that does yet. Some people get upset. Anyways, there's nothing that can contest with the dopamine that comes over me when I hear a dope rhyme scheme. And this dopamine, every line seems to convey a sacred promise to the
I know it's used as the mechanism for storing the tell it store the mechanism for story the telling, yeah, for telling the story. Um, but it's so funny to me that he's saying, I have all this music in me, but I don't know how to express it and I don't know what to do with it, while also presented it with this incredible musicality underpinning it and incredible rhyme schemes through it and obvious proficiency in rapping. um, it's kind of funny that uh, that conflict. Yeah,
the next. It's the best. Every day at any moment, I'm hit with the wave of serotonin. Flow sicker than the pages that I know here. So here's the
oh, actually, before I wanted to
ways. There's nothing that can contest with the dopamine that comes. Feels like it's right. Give a song up, everything gets more exciting.
Okay, so normally with a key change, you would expect that there is a leading note or a leading chord which indicates that there is a key change coming, so that it's not so jarring. Because if you listen to,
So much information, from tempo to key changes, chord progression, so many lessons. For example, did you know that if you take the key of a song up, everything gets more
it's jarring. It's jarring that there is that key change and it just jumps immediately without a single beat of of indication that it's going to do that. And then going down is even worse. But it's intentional and it kind of shows maybe that he's not quite, he doesn't really know how to pull these things off yet in a way which is smooth and which sounds musically proficient and doesn't result in that jarring kind of experience. But it also kind of speaks to, I guess, where he's at in his career of it being looking to a jarring, sudden change that's almost like a cutting of a tie, cutting of a rope without knowing that there is soft ground beneath, or without knowing that there's preparation that's been made and allowed him to come to this point of making that change. Um, eh, I really like how unusual and upsetting it is with those two key changes, because it really shows where he's at.
More exciting, the song gets more enticing, feels like it's rising, and if you take it back down, I don't really know what that does yet. Some people get upset. Anyways, there's nothing that can contest with the dopamine that comes over me when I hear a dope rhyme scheme. And this dopamine, every line seems to convey a sacred promise to the next. It's the best. Every day at any moment, I'm hit. I don't really know what that does yet. Some people get upset. Anyways, there's nothing that can contest with the dopamine that comes over me when I hear a dope rhyme scheme. And this dopamine, every line seems to convey a sacred promise. Yet, some people get upset. Anyways, there's nothing that can contest with the dopamine that comes over me when I hear a dope rhyme scheme. And this dopamine, every line seems to convey a sacred promise to the next. It's the best. Every day it ain't
A sacred promise.
every line seems to convey a sacred promise to the next. It's the best. Every day at any moment, I'm hit with the wave of serotonin. Flow sicker than the pages that I know here. So here's the. This job sucks. I hate this job. I really freaking hate this job. And there's no one on the mother loving face of the planet to make me say.
Forgot that. I have only listened to this once. I heard it just as I was driving with my son, and it came on after a song from Epic. And we listened to this one song. I was like, I don't want to listen to any more until I'm able to record and store what I think of it, so I can look back and enjoy that rather than vicariously having to, find other people who did reactions just so that I can get a sense of how I felt when I heard it for the first time. Um, Sorry, ADHD brain did its thing. Eh, That change in flow, that change in the song to "this job sucks" and going from there, it's that point of commitment. It's that point of this first time when he's really feeling confident in the direction that he at least can admit that he wants to take. Whether or not he will take it, we'll see. Well, obviously in real life we know what happened, but whether or not and how that happens in this musical, I'll be really interested.
I hate this job. I really freaking hate this job. And there's no one on the mother loving face of the planet to make me say thanks for this job. Only reason I have this job, father told me to get this job. Demanded a land of solitary life and med school to be grand and monetary advancement.
It's interesting that we do tend to have this attitude towards kind of higher earning professionals, doctors, lawyers, that they have nothing to complain about, or that they are incredibly privileged, or aren't allowed to be, upset about how difficult things are because they're earning a shitload of money, and that makes it okay for us to demand, incredible things of them. Um, in my job, I have had a lot of doctors come through, um, going through a similar kind of crisis to what Jorge went through here. And in fact, one of my earliest exposure to that kind of attitude of the abuse of the medical profession and the superhuman expectations that people kind of have of these people, was a psychiatrist that I studied under, and he would show up to his consults in a Hawaiian shirt, unbuttoned to here, and wearing Birkenstocks, and he had pinned up all over his workspace these journal articles about how the abuse within the medical profession and how to escape the cult of being a doctor, and it was refreshing to see the human element kind of behind the medical marvel.
I don't think it's all about the money, and it's kind of funny. I think everybody's got a hobby that they love, and when I think about it, every time I step up and they're operating, all I really want to do is sing and write songs.
Okay, missed that last
Kinda
bit.
funny, I think everybody's got a hobby that they love it. When I think about it, every time I step up and they're operating, all I really wanna do is sing and write songs. Yes, I'm depressed, I confess, incessantly pressed for success. But success should be self-defined, so where do I draw the line? Imagine having the mental capacity only to question the lessons you've learned. If you're not messing your lessons, you're lessening how much you sleep and you burn. Look how the tables have turned. This only leads to stress. You need to get your ass to class and pass the test.
Again, it's similar to, I guess, when a child is at their, you know, intellectual capacity, their educational achievement assessed, and they're considered gifted. Suddenly, all of the adults around them expect so much more of them than they did before they received that assessment. Um, and there's that push, that push, that push. Don't waste this gift. Don't waste this gift. Everybody else would love to be as smart as you. Go and make the most of it, and you they start becoming ashamed of just wanting to have a normal life or to play or to relax or rest. And the same thing happens apparently here with medical students. There's this push, this push, this push, this you've been given this chance, you've been given this opportunity. Don't waste it. I will never forgive you if you waste it. Coming from what sounds like Jorge's dad, this expectation of him having this career, which is going to be lucrative, which is going to land him with success and prestige and respect. And often it's because the parents want the child to kind of be just an extension of them in a lot of ways, and they don't realize the harm that they're doing in vicariously achieving success through their children's trauma.
Yeah, go be the best of the best. Do not succumb to the stress. You must impress. Teach yourself how to finesse. Learn to survive without rest. Unless you learn to manage your time.
Learn to survive without rest. It's so interesting that this is the attitude that's held by the medical students who have over so long stressed the importance of rest and sleep and recovery, and who will tell all of their patients, who will tell all of their clients, who will um go and spend time stressing and stressing this message of you need to rest, you need to recover, while getting none of it themselves.
But all I can think about lyrics and rhymes. How do I deal with the pressure? How do I deal with the pressure?
That was cool. That was cool. I like that. I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited to get to the next song, which is What Does My Heart Say? Interesting that, in Prologue, he's talking about how he knows nothing of the matters of the heart. And yet, in the last third of the song, there he is just pouring out his heart. And I guess that's setting us up for what comes next. Anyway, that's Prologue. I will come back and do another song next time that one of my clients doesn't show up for therapy, and I'll look forward to that.